organism, is it? So this transportation of necessary materials are going to occur in both plants and animals. Understood, children? So here I'm going to revise again the transportation in plants. Okay, as you know that the plants are also the living organism. So these materials are transported in their body. Okay, so as you know that the body of living organisms are made up of cells. Is it? Is it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So just like that, the body of the plants are also made up of cells or tissues. Okay. So the plant's body have the two special kind of tissues which are necessary for transportation of materials. Get it? So these transportation tissues are known as vascular tissues. What it is known as? What these tissues known as?
Vascular tissues.
Yes, vascular tissues. Children, so what are vascular tissues? The tissues which are found in the plant body which are necessary for transportation of materials. Okay, so these all tissues. Sorry children for interruption of network connection. Okay, now the vascular tissues are the tissues which are necessary for transportation of materials. Okay, and this whole system by which the materials are transported in the body of plants are known as vascular system. Okay children, what this system is known as? Yes,
Vascular system.
vascular system. As in our body we have many system like digestive system, respiratory system. Okay, so just like that in plants body they have an important system and its name is vascular system. And this vascular system is consist of which kind of tissues? Vascular tissues. Okay, so vascular system consists of vascular tissues. Get it children? Is it? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Maharaj.
Now, the vascular system consists of vascular tissues. Now, you have to know that these are vascular tissues are of two types. How many types of vascular tissues are there?
Sir,
How many types of vascular tissues are there?
तो दिखाइए
Two types. And these
सब बच्चे ही
vascular
दिखाएंगे
tissues are
तो क्या सर वीडियो ऑफ ही रखेंगे सर ऑन नहीं करेंगे
देखिए सर लेटे लेटे थे
तथा देख कर फिर बंद कर आप ये समझाते तो हम ये बंद कर
these
देते
are
कॉल
the
वॉल
two names of the vascular tissues. The first one is xylem and second one is
नहीं सर चाहिए आगे
phloem. Okay children? So what are the names of vascular tissues? Yes? What are the names of vascular tissues? First one?
Xylem and phloem.
लाइट बंद
Yes,
कर
first
लाइट
one xylem and second one phloem. Very good.
Phloem.
So these both vascular tissues combinedly responsible for transportation of materials in plants. Okay children? Now the second thing is that you must have to know what materials need to transported in body of plants. Okay, so the material which are necessary to make the plants alive like oxygen, okay, minerals, the water, and the other things like the food which is prepared by photosynthesis, these all materials
लाइट
are
ऑन करो, पूरा काला आ रहा है।
transported by the vascular tissues.
रोशनी में बैठ नहीं, लाइट ऑन करो।
In plant's body, the materials
काला
gets categorized in two groups. The one, water and dissolved minerals, and the second, which is material which prepared by the plants during photosynthesis, which is termed as food. Okay, so these two kinds of materials are need to transported in plants, and that is why these two kind of vascular tissues are found in plants body. Get it? Is it, children?
Yes, sir.
So the first, xylem tissues, they are responsible to transport the water and dissolved materials in water, like dissolved salts, dissolved minerals. These all are transported by which tissue? Yes,
Xylem.
by xylem tissues. And the second, by phloem tissues, the food material. As you know that during photosynthesis, glucose prepared now, is it? And that glucose is a food material of the plant. So that food or glucose is need to transport it to all parts of the body. By which tissue? Yes?
Phloem.
By phloem tissue. Yes, very good. So I hope that you understood the function of these two tissues. Xylem transport the water and minerals, and phloem transports the food material.
Food materials.
Okay. Now come to one by one the detailed explanation of these two kind of tissue. Okay, children? Children, with the help of a diagram, I'm going to show you that the transportation of materials. Okay? These are the roots of the plant, children. Okay? This one is the stem, and stem again going to divide in branches. Okay? So there is a system which is responsible to carry the materials from roots to all the parts of the body. Children, this line indicates that the movement of water and minerals from roots to upward direction. Okay, so you can show it by using the arrow. First, the water and dissolved minerals get absorbed by roots from the soil, and after that it moves upward. Okay, and this movement occurs by which tissue? Xylem. So this line indicates that the presence of xylem tissue. Oh, children, there is another system, transportation of food. The another line, but in this line, the movement of material will not occur only in one direction. Here, the movement of material will occur in all the direction. And this set of tissue is known as, yes, this is the phloem tissues. Get it, children? Understood? Is this diagram understood, children? Clear? Yes or no? Okay, so these two different lines are going to show that the movement of material, the line in which the arrow is in upward direction is the xylem tissues, because the movement of water and minerals occurs only in upward direction. They are absorbed from roots and moves to upward. Whereas the second tissues, which is the phloem tissues, have the movement or that arrow in both the direction, because when the food prepared by the leaves during photosynthesis, it moves to all parts, either upward or downward. Okay, so the movement of materials by phloem tissues occur in all direction, upward direction and downward direction, whereas the movement of water and mineral by the xylem tissues occurs only in one direction. Get it, children? The difference between these two tissues? Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as the water and minerals get absorbed by the xylem tissue, so you must have to know that the question is there, how this absorption occurs. Okay. So, with the help of another diagram, I'm going to show you that how this absorption of water and minerals occurs in plants. Okay. Select the root of plant. So suppose root of a plant, if I make a section, if we cut it from here and make a slide and observe it under the microscope, so which kind of structure we can see? So just see that the structure will be somewhat like that.
समझ में नहीं आता है तो यार लाइव क्लास
Now just see that. This is the outer layer, outer surface of the roots, okay, which is in the contact of soil, and many of the cells of this outer layer have the hair-like outgrowth. What is this? The hair-like structure, and they are known as root hairs. What are they? Children? What are these hair-like structures are known as? Root hairs. As they are present on the surface of root, so that is why they are known as root hairs. So these are okay, children. Below the root hairs, it have a outer layer of cells, which is known as what? Yes, it is known as epidermis. And under it have a thick layer of cells, as you can see here. Get it? As we move inside, a layer of tissues are also present here. And inside this, in center part, they have the xylem tissues. So the xylem tissues are found here. Are you able to see that the difference in this tissue and rest of the tissues? I have made it by double layer. So it shows that these are the xylem tissues which are present in the center. Okay. Okay. Above it, yes. Anyone want to ask something? Yes. Anyone want to ask? Okay. So these are the xylem tissues which are present in the center. This layer is known as phloem tissues. So the xylem tissues and phloem tissues, they both are present there inside the roots. So when the water present outside the roots in the soil, they enter in the roots through these root hairs. Okay, so where the first water enter in which part of the roots? In root hairs. So with the help of this arrow, I'm going to show you that the entry of water and dissolved milk. And from this root hair, that water move to different cells and finally it reaches to the xylem. Is it? Understood? Are you able to see that arrow? Are you able to see this arrow? This arrow indicates for what? It indicates for movement of water from outside the root through root hairs and through different cells, and finally it comes in the center of the root where the xylem tissues are present. Okay. And now from this xylem tissues, when the water comes to this part of the plant, they move upwards. Get it? Move upwards, they move upwards. Understood, children? Get it, this diagram? Root hairs, xylem tissues, and phloem tissues. Understood? Is all? Is there any doubt? Any question? Anyone? Children, any doubt is there? No. Okay, it's very good. Now come to the next. These xylem tissues which are present here in the center, the structure, if we observe the shape of these xylem tissues, so they looks like the tube-like structure. Each and every cell of xylem is long, just like a tube. And many xylem tissues get joined together one by one. Just like this one is a a single xylem tissue, the next xylem tissue is situated just above it. Like this. Again, the next is situated just above it. And just like that, they are going to make a long tube-like structure, a long tube-like system in the plant's body, and through which the water is able to move upwards from roots to tip of the plant. Get it, children? How the water is going to move? How this xylem tissue is going to work? They are going to work as a long tube, long pipe-like structure through which this water and dissolved minerals are going to move upward and finally reach to the tip of the plant. Okay, children? Understood? Now, you can understood this. The function of the xylem are the cells of the plants with the help of an activity. Okay, how that water and other dissolved minerals gets absorbed. So the process of absorption by the cells can easily understood. Okay. There is an activity given in your chapter, but this activity is not the part of the demonstration. It is just explanation. So I'm going to explain it, and with the help of this, you can easily understood the movement of water through the cells of plant. Okay, children. So what you have to do for this activity, you have to take 2 potatoes. Okay. Cut the lower part of the potato to make it flat so that your potato can stand. Get it? And peel off this potato also. Okay, so 2 potatoes we have taken here, and there one part of the potato gets cut to make it flat. Okay, both the potatoes are peeled. Understood, children? Now, with the help of knife or spoon, make a hollow part, okay, inside this potato. So with the help of knife or spoon, you can remove the inner part of these potatoes. Get it? Understood this much? Yes or no, children? Understood this much how you can prepare these potatoes? What you have to do? You have to select 2 potatoes, peel them off, cut the part of potato to make it flat to stand. Okay. Now, after that, with the help of knife or spoon, you have to make a hollow structure inside it. So it looks like the potato cup. Okay, what it looks like? Okay, potato cup. After that, you have to place them in a row. Take a tray, place them inside the tray. Get it? Now, in another test tube or a bowl, prepare some sugar solution. What you have to prepare? Yes, children? What you will prepare in bowl? Some sugar solution. And I hope that you know how to prepare the sugar solution. Is it? How the sugar solution gets prepared? By dissolving sugar in water. Okay, so take a little amount of water and add 1 or 2 spoons of sugar in it and mix it. Your sugar solution will prepare. So prepare some sugar solution and put that sugar solution in this potato cup. Okay, so here we have filled the potato cup with sugar solution. What is this? This is sugar solution. Okay, children? Understood this much? Now, take the paper pin and apply that paper pin at the label inside this potato. Take a paper pin and fix it on the level of sugar solution inside the potato. Why we are going to take this pin here? Just to, yes, just to make a clear height or that the amount volume of this sugar solution inside the potato cup. Okay, so we can know that how much level we have taken inside the potato cup of sugar solution. Get it, children? Is it? Now, after that, put some water. Water in this one. Water. Place your batter for a few minutes, about half an hour or 1 hour. Get it? Understood this setup, everyone? In this setup, what you have done? You have taken a potato, peeled it off, make the cup by removing the inner part with the help of a spoon or knife. Okay. Take some sugar solution in it. Fix a paper pin. Okay. To decide that, to know that level of sugar solution inside the potato cup, and place this potato cup in a tray with water. Okay, and keep this setup for about 1 hour. After that, when you will observe it again, so you will observe that this level of sugar solution, it rises, it comes upward. And how we can know that the level get rises? With the help of this pin. Because earlier you have placed the pin on the level of sugar solution, and after 1 hour, when you again observe it, so you will observe that the level gets rises, and that is why the pin gets inside it. It looks inside it. Get it? So this concludes that the water enters in this potato, and this water comes from where? The water which is present outside the potato. So this water through the cells of potato, tissues of the potato, moves inside and finally comes in this part of the hollow part of the potato where we have taken the sugar solution, and that is why the level of this sugar solution gets rises. Okay, children, understood why the level gets rises? Because of the movement of water from outside to inside. Get it, children? And this movement of water from outside to inside is known as osmosis. What is the name of this process, children? Yes? Osmosis. This is the osmosis process by which this water enters in the potato. Okay. Because the inside water, the concentration of inside this potato, concentration of water is lower, and outside the potato, water is higher. Then do you know concentration, meaning of concentration? Yes or no? Concentration means that the amount of solute in a, is it? And we add the solution, and we add the sugar in waters, it gets a solution that is known as, sugar solution. What is solute and what is solvent? Solute is sugar and solvent is water. Okay, so the amount of solvent, that is decides the concentration here. So the water concentration is higher outside and lower inside, because here we have some sugar added in the water. So the concentration of water is less than this, and here the dissolved minerals are less as compared to this solution. That is why the water concentration is higher outside and lower inside. And as a result, this movement will occur from outside to inside. Or you can say that this movement will occur from its higher concentration to lower concentration. And this movement, or this way of movement of the molecules of water, is simply known as osmosis. Children, understood the osmosis? Yes? Understood the process of osmosis? Children?
Yes, sir.
Yes? What is osmosis? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The movement of water molecules from its higher concentration to lower concentration. And the same process is used in plants, in the roots of the plant. Because of that, the water enters in the roots from the soil. Okay, children? The movement of water.
Sir, can we do this activity at our home?
You can do, but it is not the part of your activity syllabus, so you not need to write it in your activity notebook. Okay, children?
Sir, but we can do.
You can do if you want to do, so you can do. You will get the same result as I told here. The level gets rises.
Okay, sir.
After 1 or 2 hours, the levels get rises. Okay, but some precaution you have to take. By using the knife or spoon, you have to be very careful. And when you are going to make the potato cup, so this cup not get break from any place. It not get cracked. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Result. Understood? Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other doubt? Any other question? This one?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the second potato cup which I have made. This potato was the boiled potato. Take the boiled potato, peel it off, and make the same cup. And go through the same process. Put the sugar solution and place it in a trough with water. Okay. So in this setup, after 1 or 2 hours, you will not observe any rise in the level of sugar solution. It will remain the same. Do you know that why?
Why, sir?
Okay. The reason is that as this potato, we have taken the boiled potato. Okay. And during boiling, the cells of the potatoes get died. So here the cells or tissues are alive. But here in this set, this potato, the cells are dead. And this movement of the materials, that is the process of osmosis, okay, which is going to occur through a semi-permeable membrane, which are present in the cells, are not able to pass the water molecules. And that is why here the level will not get rise. It remain the same. Okay, so for osmosis process, what is necessary? A semi-permeable membrane is necessary. What is necessary, children? Yes. A semi-permeable membrane. It is a membrane which is
Semi-permeable membrane.
present on the surface of plant tissues are covered, are surrounded by this a thin membrane, and this membrane act as a semi-permeable membrane. It allows only some selected material from outside to inside. Okay, so this membrane is get damaged while boiling, and that is why the water is not allowed to move in. Whereas in this first diagram, here the water is allowed to move. Understood, children? Any other question, children? Any other doubt?
No, sir.
So I hope that you understood the process of osmosis. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this osmosis process, generally known as the diffusion. One more term is there related to the osmosis.
Diffusion.
Diffusion. So diffusion is simply the movement of material from one part to another part. But if this movement will occur in the presence of a semi-permeable membrane, so that time it will termed as osmosis. Got the difference? For diffusion, any semi-permeable membrane is not necessary. It can occur without a semi-permeable membrane. But for osmosis, a semi-permeable membrane is necessary. So the process of movement is the same that occur from higher concentration to lower concentration in both. But the difference in osmosis, a semi-permeable membrane is required, and in diffusion, it can occur without any semi-permeable membrane. Get it, children? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Understood the difference?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the way by which the materials are going to transport in plant's body. It may be the water or dissolved minerals by xylem tissue, or it may be the food which is prepared during photosynthesis by phloem tissues. So they both material are transported in the same way. Okay, and goes to each and every part of the plants, and that is why the parts of the plants becomes alive. If this transportation gets stopped, suppose the transportation of minerals or the water gets stopped in any part of the plant, so what will happen? What will happen? That part of the plant will not be alive. It will consider as dead part. Okay,
That's all.
is it, children? So to make the
Yes,
part
sir.
of the plant alive, this movement, this transportation is necessary. Okay, understood? Okay, so I hope that you understood the today's this revision of transportation of materials in plant. Is it, children? Any doubt? Anyone? Okay, thank you and have a nice day, children.